Mayo. And that one I thought was the quote of the day, personally. Defense is going to always be ahead of the offense. It's not a straight line. We want to get better. But it's a process. To say, when he said the defense will always be ahead of the offense, when he said that, I was like, oh, okay.
I went, is he talking about this season?
I think so.
Is he talking about in his
forever
tenure as head coach?
I think
because he's a defensive coach? So he's always going to have a better defense and a better offense?
That's sort of how I took it, but also because the defense is not being rebuilt from scratch,
right?
New
Trust
everything
me,
and all that, you know.
Nobody expects the offense to be better than the defense,
Right?
including Gerard Mayo.
Maybe ever.
That being said, the defense better be good. Like, it better be a good, I'm saying, like, top 10 defense with all this talk, with all this investment and all this talk and sort of, you know, this is going to be the foundation of the team.
Yeah.
It was the foundation of the team last year with Belichick here, and it was worth 4 wins, whatever that defense gave you.
They were injured, too. They had injuries.
They did have some injuries, sure. One of the guys who was injured is maybe not going to play this year. We'll see. But, yeah, I mean, I understand what you mean, and losing Gonzalez was a big loss for sure.
Yeah.
Are we making too big? Sorry, really quick. Are we making too big of a thing out of Gonzalez? I feel like Gonzalez gave one media availability, and everybody was like, oh, he's going to be a top 3 cornerback. Or if he's not a top 3 cornerback, he's going to be a top 5 cornerback. I'm like, the guy's played 3.5 games.
Well, he looked good for what we saw. Obviously, it was a small sample size, and he was highly touted coming out of college. It's just a matter of health, right? If he's healthy, I'm willing to buy into that.
I expect him to be above average to very good.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm considering him, and it could be bad. I mean, who knows? You didn't play very much. Maybe the injury's lingering. Who the hell knows? But just based on what we saw last year, yes, I think it's fair to expect that he'll be an above average corner in the NFL, which is something. I mean, there's a lot of value in just having an above average corner out there with guys like Jonathan Jones and some of the other guys that you have. He's expected to be more than that. I mean, you don't pick a guy in the first round, just expect him to be above average. You want him to be your number 1 guy. And he was playing that way last year. But you have to assume, okay, there's going to be, you know, the re-entry, the whole getting back into the flow of things. And we don't know if he would have been good all year long. Matthew Judon has never been good all year long for this team. He's never had a beginning-to-end great season for the Patriots. And that's, you know, part of maybe why he's getting his balls busted at the negotiation table right now. But all that to say this. Is the offense ever going to catch up to the defense this year? Like, is that something that's even realistic? Or if they kind of just acknowledge the fact that, no, this is still very much a work in progress, and as good as the defense gets, we're not expecting the offense to ever match it this year.
Well, if we expect the defense to be a top 10 defense, then absolutely not. Definitely with the offense. Not. I'm sorry. Like, I would love for it to be a Houston Texans situation. If that's really what you're banking on, then you should go out to San Francisco and give them anything that's not nailed down to get Trent Williams out here. You know, like, and actually have something on your line if you think that that's how you're going to be playing, and that Drake May is that Band-Aid, that eraser that changes everything in your offense. I just don't think that's realistic.
Yeah, I don't think you need it to catch up. You just need it to not suck like last season. Like, be competent. Can you be a competent offense? And I wish he had kind of went there. You know, listen, like, I understand where he was coming from, but some of these answers – I just wish there was a little bit more coach speak, in the sense that I do appreciate Gerard Mayo's transparency, especially in the face of what we've had around here for so long.
You know, I think every day is a big day for everybody.
Exactly. But listen, bro, try to give props to your defense, which he did, but also say, hey, you know, instead of saying the offense is never going to catch up to the defense, how about we just need our offense to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, because we believe this defense can be special. And if they can do that, we have a shot to be something special around here. I just don't like – this is why – this is another conversation for another show, I'm sure, with you two. But I am anti-hiring defensive-minded head coaches.
I didn't want that either. I would rather they went and got some innovative offensive mind. I thought that would have been you want to talk about being different from Belichick.
Yes.
I mean, how much more different could that have been?
Yes, and in a league where it's increasingly more about quarterbacks and head coaches and offensive-mindedness, I just didn't love the Gerard Mayo. And to your point, we're going to move off of Bill Belichick and go with a guy who loves Bill Belichick, and Belichick loves him and literally is a disciple. Okay, well, these are the kind of answers you're going to get. It's like defense over everything. We're going to run the ball and play defense. Oh, yeah, that worked in 1998, bro. This is 2004. Like, you have to have an offense.
2024.
It's what are we doing? Like, you have to have a competent offense, if nothing else. And comments of the defense is always going to be ahead of the offense is troubling.
Doug Kyde had the stats for both quarterbacks today, and they are as follows. He tweeted this about 3 hours ago. Jacoby Brissett was 14 of 19 overall. In 11 on 11s, he was 5 of 7. Drake May, 17 of 23 overall. 8 of 11 in 11 on 11s with an interception. And he said something about the interception. I forget exactly what it was, but he kind of brushed it off like, hey, no big deal. This is why you have practice, so you get stuff like this out of your system. It was a good answer for a rookie, I thought. I mean, I don't know how Mac Jones would have answered the question. He probably would have denied that the interception ever got thrown and just completely changed the subject, as he was wont to do. But, yeah, it seems like May is confident enough in himself and his standing on the team that he's not going to let something like that be a big burden. And just sort of with his personality, it doesn't seem like he gets too hung up on that type of stuff, which I think is a good thing when you're starting a new offense with a young quarterback. It's good to have a guy who's not constantly in his own head all the time like Mac Jones seemed to be.